Oh, it's a big week for the Borough, but the faithful aren't too sure about Dieng being back between the sticks. Welcome back to episode 19 of Where Borough Walk. We're also talking about Dijksteel's brilliance, set pieces, and who are the best fans that have visited the Riverside this season. It's 20 minutes of Borough chat. We've got Sean back with us, and we've got some new voices this week. Jonathan and Craig, welcome to you both. Let's jump straight into that Burnley result, shall we, Sean? It's a long time ago now. By the time this goes out, you'll be more worried about Leeds. But just quickly, what was the best that we saw of the Borough during that game?
To coin a cliche, it was a bit of a game of two halves, really. The first half, Burnley really showed what they were about, and I did fear a little bit. But as the game went on, I don't know whether it was a fitness thing or a confidence thing, but we definitely grew into the game. And come the end of it, I think we were a little bit disappointed not to get 3 points.
Yeah, the Burnley fans that we spoke to said exactly that. Jonathan, welcome to the show. We've been excited all season for the way Borough have been playing. Do you think that was a different approach that he took to that game? Was it a little bit more conservative than what we're used to seeing?
No, I think they were maybe taken a little bit by surprise by Burnley's intensity in the first half. They really went for us, and they were very on us all the time. I mean, they didn't particularly threaten the goal, but they certainly hassled and harried, and we're right in our face. And I think at half time, whatever Carrick said, we seemed to get a grip of the game more. And I'm absolutely with Sean. I was pretty disappointed that we came away with a point instead of 3.
I think many would agree with you. Craig, welcome, of course, to Where Borough Walk. Some tweets about the goalkeepers. I want to get your view on, Craig, if that's okay. Yeah. Thomas Ross Walker says, Sol Brin didn't deserve to be dropped, in my opinion. Really gone off Dieng. But to be fair, we were lucky not to be 3 or 4 goals down. David says, should have won it with them second half chances. 2 points dropped because of poor goalkeeping. Good point, though. What's your view on this goalkeeping debate?
Well, I think there isn't a debate to be had, really. I think Dieng's is the number one. There is no discussion about him, really. Carrick brought him in as his number one, and if he's fit, he plays. I mean, obviously, Sol Brin's the 2 games that he played in the Cup earlier in the season, and he has done well every time. I mean, I can see he did get a bit of blame, Dieng, obviously, with the goal. Because he got caught off his line, but that's the way Carrick wants him to play. He wants him to play off the line so he can sweep up through balls and kind of like being like an extra man, like a sweeper. So him being off his line he's like it every match, and we will get caught out every now and again. But what he adds to the team is more than that, I think. So I think some people obviously will kind of like feel a bit more loyalty towards Sol Brin because of his 2 good games, but. I think it was the right decision, really.
Sean, we've spoken about Dieng on here before. His season hasn't been as strong as we've seen previously. If you put that down to anything, as he looks at times for me in games shaky.
Yeah, I think he's kept us in games before, so we've got to be mindful. And as Craig alluded to there, he is our number 1 keeper. He's the senior keeper at the club, really. There'll be plenty of time for Sol Brin to come through, and he'll get the cup games and stuff as well. I just think keepers will make mistakes, and I just think we've probably not got to sort of overanalyze it and look too deeply at it. But yeah, he's had a bit of an up and down season. Hopefully, we get a period of consistency now.
Okay.
The thing that bothers me about about Dieng is his percentages, his shot saving. He's I think he's bottom of the league in terms of shot saving. So you're right. He's on the ball with his foot, he's good, but his shot stopping is not the best.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what people call him out for time and time again. Jonathan, with you then the next one, if that's okay. Dominic says Dijksteel made 8 league starts in the entirety of last season. He's already made 7 this season. Huge show of faith in Carrick to put him in for a game like tonight. And his defender's response was one of his best performances in a Borough shirt. Our first question to you, Jonathan, is: do you agree with that? Was it one of the best performances you've seen from him?
Yeah, I'm always nervous with Dijksteel. I always think he's got a mistake in him, but I have to say he did a great job on Friday. And I was pleased to see that because obviously with Ayling coming in and establishing himself at right back and having all the experience he's got, you'd expect him to start. But, I'm glad there's competition in that space, because I'd say right and left back, if we have a weakness, that's probably where the positions are. And to see some good competition at right back and the two lads both performing, I don't think Ayling's not performing. Dijksteel is performing. I think they're both doing a great job. So I'm pleased to see it.
Absolutely. We'll leave the Burnley game there, though, Craig. But who was your man of the match?
Yeah, I think I would have probably gone Dijksteel. I mean, I know he was an obvious choice, but for him to come in, start the game, I think their left winger, he's quick. And I know Ayling has kind of struggled against fast, tricky wingers. So I think it was probably the right call, but he deserved it. He attacked well, he defended really well, and obviously he got the goal. So, yeah, I would totally agree with it.
Okay. It's a big week for Borough, as we said at the top of the show. Sean, we're recording this before the Leeds game, and I'm absolutely gutted that this isn't a Friday night or a Sunday 4 o'clock where the whole footballing world can watch it, because it's going to be a ding dong, this one, and there's so many neutrals that want to see you put Leeds to the sword. Do you think you will?
We're very capable of doing it. I think we're right up there, if not one of the best teams in the Championship. I heard people saying that the Burnley and Leeds games were a chance for Borough to make a statement, and I disagree with that. I think people know what they're going to get, and they know we're a great attacking team who have tons of potential. It's just whether we can avoid the odd mistake, which always seems to cost us a goal in our games. So it's if we stay mistake free and focused and are at our A game, we can beat anyone in the league, and that includes Leeds.
Carrick doesn't do defensive, Sean, or doesn't often switch to a defensive setup. But should he for this one?
No, I don't think so. I think you play to your strengths, and as Jonathan alluded to there, we're a great attacking outlet, and if we can sort of get anywhere near that high intensity performance that we put on them in the cup, albeit a very different starting 11, we can really show that we've got no fear. And I think if you sit off a team like Leeds, they will punish you, and especially as again we've mentioned the odd mistake at the back that creeps into our game. I think we play the way that we always play, and I think we attack on the front foot. The good thing about playing good teams for Borough is that we'll get chances. It's worse for us, I think, when we play a Blackburn or a team that tries to stifle us. We sometimes struggle to break down that sort of low block. The Leeds game will probably be, based on the last few encounters, will be a bit like a basketball game. Sometimes that will suit us. We've got great attacking players.
That sort of game is coming this Saturday, isn't it, Craig? With Neil Harris and Millwall in town, that is a definite test of the low block if there ever was one.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. If I'm going to be honest, the way that we have been with Carrick and our form against like a better footballing team and teams who will come and attack us, we do tend to get results. I remember Leicester last year, we beat them home and away, and obviously they ran away with the league. But then, the lad said, Blackburn a few weeks ago, they sat deep and we couldn't break them down. I'm trying to think of Coventry. They sat deep and they soaked up pressure, and then they got a breakaway goal, and then another. And we just struggle so much against them. And I don't know if Carrick will end up changing his way of playing for these teams that will come and sit deep, or he's just going to stay on with it, and we'll end up where we'll end up, and hopefully, obviously, win more than we'll lose, and we'll see.
It's going to be the most Borough thing ever, isn't it? You'll beat Leeds, won't you? And then you'll lose to a roughly 1-0 80th minute Millwall goal.
Yeah, definitely. And Plymouth the week after as well, so I can see us getting chances.
How do you feel as Borough fans that the neutrals want Borough and Sunderland to be the two teams that take these positions? You definitely have got people looking at the Championship going, they're a good side to watch, well run reasonably now. Hungry young English manager in Carrick. Does it bother you that there's a bit of pressure coming, not even just from Borough fans, but from the outside in footballing world that want to see you do well and expecting you to do well, Sean?
Not for me. I think there's a very stable environment. You alluded to it then. what Carrick has brought into the club. I think it's really harmonious off the field. I think there's a really nice, well-knit group. You know, the squad. I mean, you've got lone players there like Ben Doak, who, if you watch the Burnley game, he was absolutely berating Hayden Hackney about one of the passes. It shows how much it means to even the clubs that are here short term.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jonathan, we asked Rich this last week, but do you believe you've got the best attacking lineup of those top clubs?
Yeah, I think, you know, what I'm most pleased with Azaz coming to the fore. You know, he started a little slow, but he's showing his true kind of identity now as a player. He's a real fan favourite now, you know, and perhaps wasn't at the beginning of the season, but I think his form is very strong. I like the fact we've got Conway or Lath, and they both score goals. I think that puts us a threat. And of course, as Sean just said, you know, Doak is obviously a revelation, and you know, he really put some intensity into our play. And you know, Craig, you talked about how we struggle against teams to break them down, and maybe Doak is going to be helped to give us the answer to break teams down like Millwall a little bit more than perhaps what we have done in the past. So yeah, absolutely, we are a great threat to any team we play, as long as we can break them down, as long as we can keep the intensity up.
Okay. Before we finish this week, we're talking about set pieces, because the whole football world has gone crazy on set piece coaching and the importance of set pieces. If we have a look at the set piece table, Craig, there you can see Millwall right at the top. So watch out for that this Saturday. But you guys, of all the teams, I mean, you can see the next one is Leeds there in 12th. Of all the teams at the top, you guys are pretty nifty with set pieces. 6 scored, 3 penalties, of course, which always helps. So what is it about your play you think that means that you are doing well with set pieces? I mean, you've got some great dead ball deliverers. That probably explains most of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think direct free kicks, set pieces, we're not great, really. I mean, I can't remember the last kind of, about like last season, I think it was Greenwood, we scored a direct free kick. I mean, corners, we've kind of, the last few games, I've really like noticed they've mixed it up a little bit. They're doing like some short corners and movements, and I think, could it be Bergzog's goal the other week? It was like a short corner and Doak had like a flick on. And it was good to see something change, because just a ball into the box off a corner, even though we've got some tall players, we don't seem to score like a header off a corner. So yeah, I think if we're mixing it up, I think Azaz as well, he seems a bit more creative with it. He tried like I think it was against Hull last week. He tried like a little lob over the wall, like a cheeky little lob over the wall and I thought, why don't we do things like that more often? So yeah, hopefully they're getting a bit more creative with it.
Okay. Sean, just general football. Is football going down a kind of too analytical route here? I mean, it's just it's a simple, beautiful game, isn't it? But now we've got set piece coaches appearing on Sky. We talked to the Norwich City fans this week who want to sack their set piece coach as their main thing they're upset about. I mean, has it all gone just a little bit crazy?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's very on trend, isn't it? The set piece coach. I think I'm right in saying that Grant Ledbetter has been allocated that sort of portion of playing. I think he's the one that's maybe mixed up a few things, and I think Matty Clark's maybe scored from a few corners and stuff like that. So it's something, as Craig mentioned, we haven't really been that good at, and for a good few years as well, we've seemed a bit wasteful from set pieces and corners and things like that. So if we get more goals from it, we've got some big lads there at the back. I think we probably should put a few more goals away from it. So yeah, it's possibly a good thing for us.
All right. Nearly there. FA Cup was drawn last week. We haven't spoken to you guys yet about it. I'm sure you'd have wanted a better draw than what you got. Jonathan, without any disrespect to Blackburn, was this possibly one of the most boring draws you could have got?
Yeah, no disrespect, but it's pretty meh. It didn't exactly get us out of our seats, so no, it wasn't. It is what it is, so yeah. To be honest, I saw that when you said we might talk about that, and I thought, I haven't got too much to say about that.
I mean, you had your fun at Stamford Bridge last year, so you're due an off year. You got Stoke, didn't you, in the cup, and now you got Blackburn. Craig, would you care less about the FA Cup this year? Do you mind if Blackburn just knock you out if you can just focus on going up?
I don't know. I love the cups. I always love a cup run. But then when you look at last year, I think it was the first semi-final with Chelsea. I think Latte and Jones both got injured in the game. And when I was thinking to myself that they were out for a long time, like a good month, 6 weeks after that. And I thought those two have probably cost us a few points, which could just get us a little bit further up the table. And then that's your playoff place. So probably thinking about it, that probably did cost us. But I just love the romance of it and the big games. Like when Chelsea did come, we won, and the other year when Tottenham came, we knocked them out, and then obviously Old Trafford when we won there a couple of years ago. I love it.
Okay, all right. You deserve a Blackburn at home. Then you've had a good time of it. Finally, this week we're talking about travelling fans because it's a season of goodwill. So we're giving out some cheer to those fans that we need to just give a round of applause to. So at the Riverside, who's been the best away fans you've seen so far this season? Borough were given the nod by Norwich fans when we asked them this question. They said by far you were the best at Carrow Road so far. So let's return their dues. Sean?
Well, I'm gonna let the lads lead with this because they probably see more home games than I do. So I'm gonna let them lead with it.
Okay, very novel. Jonathan?
I don't want to say because it might be Sunderland, you know. I didn't say that. Greg, save me. Say something better.
Well, do you know what? When the beginning of the Sheffield United game, when we got in the ground and I could hear them, and I thought, Jesus, they're on tonight. But obviously the game didn't go their way. They started to quieten down and we won. But Coventry, there was a lot of them, and obviously they battered us and they were bouncing. It seems every time they come to the Riverside, it goes for them.
I must admit, Coventry was at the forefront of my mind when you mentioned it. To be fair, they're always loud.
Yeah, and I think So I'll probably go Coventry for this season.
Good. Yeah, you'll get people in the comments typing. He can't say Sunderland. You're not having.
I know. I was thinking about when you say it's just like every season you've got the Yorkshire teams turn up. You know what I mean? You said Sheffield, Sheff Wednesday, Leeds, Sunderland. You know what I mean? As much as I detest saying it, you know, they're a passionate bunch.
All right. Thank you very much for that, gentlemen. That about wraps it up for this week. Good luck against Leeds. The neutrals will be well behind you this week, and of course, good luck against Millwall. We'll catch your reviews, hopefully, all of that this time next week. And thank you very much for joining us. See you then.